Today we're going to be planting garlic, and I'm going to show you through the process as well as share some tips and tricks so that you can get your garlic in this year and have a really great growing season. Garlic usually takes around 8 to 9 months to actually get ready for harvest, so you want to make sure that you're starting off the process at the right time so you're not wasting a bunch of time growing garlic. Now, the best time to actually grow your garlic is going to be around 4 to 6 weeks before the first frost. So this is going to be end of September, early October. We're in a zone 7, so that's where I'm referring to, but obviously it's going to be a little bit different if you're in different zones. Also, if you're in a much warmer zone, you might also want to think about refrigerating your garlic before planting, but I definitely ask that you look into it for your zone as we're going over a zone 7 here. So right now I have all of my garlics. I have them whole, and I'm going to go ahead and take out each of the separate cloves of the garlic so that I can start to get ready to plant them. So I have a few here. I'm going to grab some more garlic as well and start doing the process. Now, the best place to actually get your garlic is going to be from a garden store or from online, getting the garlic cloves, anything, any type that you really want to purchase. You don't necessarily want to be buying from the grocery store because they can spray with growth inhibitors, which means that your garlic isn't going to actually grow. Now, if you are going to get garlic from the grocery store, you are going to want to purchase the organic garlic, and this most likely is not going to have those sprayed, so you won't see this as much. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm basically just breaking up the garlic and I'm pulling out each of the cloves because we are going to be planting them by the clove. And when you are doing this, you just want to pick out your nice big ones, and any of those small wimpy looking ones we're going to put on the side for cooking. We don't really need to plant those. They're not going to do as well. So let's just use them for something else. Now, what you do want to think about is whether you're going to want to plant hard neck or soft neck garlic. Soft neck is going to be much better for warmer climates. So if you are in a warmer climate, you might want to think about growing it there, as opposed to a hard neck you might want to grow in a colder climate. So think about where you live and which one might be best for you. There's also a lot of different varieties of garlic, so look into the taste and the descriptions that really spark your fancy. I've gone ahead and enlisted the help of Chris to help me take these bulbs and break them down into the cloves. But before you even get to this stage, you need to make sure that you've chosen a spot to plant your garlic. You want to make sure that it's a nice sunny spot that has a nice drainable soil, making sure that it has a nice loomy soil. We actually are going to be using a garden bed, and we do have a nice variation of soil there that is a really good drainable soil, and we've actually managed the soil ourselves because these are raised beds. Make sure that when you are pulling apart your garlic cloves, you are keeping the skin intact and you're not taking it off like in this example. This is going to make sure that you have all the necessary items on your clove to actually grow correctly. When planting your garlic, you do want to make sure that you're planting with the flat side down and the curved side up. This is because it is going to actually grow from that end. As you can see here, we have a little sprout actually from some of the garlic, and this way you actually have this side down, this side is sprouting up. When you're planting, you want to be making sure that you are planting them around 4 to 6 inches apart and around 12 inches from each row. Garlic do not like to be overcrowded, so you want to make sure that you are not planting them really close together. Now, if you want to enjoy some nice greens from your garlic, and you can definitely do this, they are quite tasty. What you want to do is you can plant some of the really small ones really close together and get some nice bunches of greens, and this is a great way to use up some of those smaller, wimpier pieces of garlic and still get some of the greatness from the little tops here. Another thing to think about when you are planting these is you want to make sure that you're digging them around 4 inches low. So what you can also do, most bulbs, you usually want to do around 4 times the size of them. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, because they're about an inch tall anyway. So that's also something you can think about. And the reason you're planting them so low is because they are staying in the ground all winter, so they need to be nice and protected from the wintry coldness. Okay, let's go plant these guys. Chris is already starting to get some holes dug in the garden bed that we're gonna be doing this in, and we'll get some of these guys in. Now, once you've gone ahead and actually planted and you're seeing around 4 to 6 inches of sprouting, then you do want to make sure you are mulching on top. This way you're going to keep the weeds lower and you'll keep your garlic warmer so that it's able to stay warm throughout the winter. Spring, when you start to see some of those green sprouts, you do want to make sure to fertilize. This way you're going to have the best garlic crop that you can. Once you actually have your garlic in the ground, you want to make sure that you are maintaining your garlic. It has a really long growth season, around 8 to 9 months until you're going to be harvesting it. So make sure that you're weeding along the area, you're mulching wherever necessary, and you're watering often. You don't want to have large dry spells, so make sure that you're watering that garlic. If you do start to see, once the sprouts come up, that there are rusty leaves, just cut those off. Don't let them keep growing. You don't want them to spread to any of the other garlics, so just make sure to remove them from your garden. Once you're at late June, early July, your garlic is most likely going to be ready to harvest. You're gonna know that your garlic is ready to harvest when the lower leaves start to turn yellow. You slowly want to remove the garlic from the area and let them dry out before you start to use them. We're gonna tune in the spring when we do harvest these, and we'll go over some tips. So definitely subscribe to the channel if this is something you want to see. Otherwise, best of luck growing your garlic, and we can't wait to see you in another 8 to 9 months when we're ready to harvest. Bye.